Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It is 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is July 18th, 2025. This is War Notes, and I am Pavi LG, and I'm about to show you exactly how they are bleeding you dry at the grocery store while Washington plays games with your money. While you are paying $5 for a dozen of eggs, Congress just approved $9 billion in cuts that will hit you harder. This isn't just inflation, this is systematic economic warfare against working families, and I've got the receipts. Let's start with what's happening right now in your grocery cart. At Walmart today, a dozen eggs will cost you $4.90. That's not a typo. That's 83% more than they cost 5 years ago. But here's the kicker, those same eggs just dropped from $3.47 to $2.72 yesterday because of the avian flu patterns. This is price manipulation in real time, folks. Your grocery bill is being used as a weapon. Kroger, they are even worse. Kroger's senior director for pricing, Andy Grove, admitted the grocery giant had raised prices for eggs and milk beyond inflation levels. They admitted to price gouging. That's not speculation, that's confession. Here's what milk costs you right now. Milk prices are almost a full dollar since 2019. When a gallon of Kroger's store brand milk cost $2.19, today you're looking at over $3 for basic milk. And it gets worse. Grocery prices rose 0.3% from April to May and are up 2.2% in the past year. But that's the official number. The real impact on your wallet? Well, dairy and milk prices surged over 30%, followed by beverages at 26%, and fruits and vegetables at 20%. Hello, chicken jockey. Welcome to the program. So, why do I call this Washington's war on your wallet? Well, because while you are choosing between your rent and groceries, guess what? Congress just did. The Senate passes a $9 billion bill in spending cuts to public broadcasting and foreign aid. You think that money is coming back to you? Think again. And here's the urgent news, they are burying. President Trump has threatened to sue the Wall Street Journal over an article alleging ties to Jeffrey Epstein. More political theater while your family can't afford basic food. But here's what should terrify you. One of the three nuclear enrichment sites in Iran struck by the United States last month was mostly destroyed. We are talking about military action that could escalate into global conflict, and they are worried about newspaper lawsuits. When we are being threatened that a bomb can land on the mainland right there in Mar-a-Lago, if they want to get serious, they could try to hit the Pentagon or the White House. And we're talking about lawsuits in the newspaper because you're a potential pedophile. The priorities are shifted, America. The priorities have been shifted and they continue to shift on a daily basis as Yellow Man goes off and on of his daily menstrual cycle, it seems to be. They tell you inflation is under control. That's a lie. Annual CPI inflation recorded 3.6% in June 2025, and that's with their cookbooks. The reality, NPR tracked 96 items at Walmart. They are 74% more expensive compared to 2019. Okay? Go ahead and fact check me if you like. 74% more expensive. That means if you spent $100 on groceries in 2019, you are now paying $174 for the exact same items. Think about that. It adds up. And guess what, America? They are not done with you yet. They're not done with you, and they're not done with me. Walmart CEO predicts grocery inflation will continue in early 2025, with processed food prices unlikely to drop to pre pandemic levels. In other words, this is your new normal. They have reset the baseline, and you are paying it forever. You and I and everyone else who lives here in America. Here's the reality. Here's the truth that some people just don't want to accept. Here's what's really happening and why they don't want you connecting these dots. Hello, Andrew Carabinos, and welcome to the program. You're very welcomed here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here, and blessings to each and every one of you all's family throughout these very hard, tough times around the country and globe. So, the dots that they don't, every other chain is doing it too. If Kroger confesses to it, every other chain is doing it too. They're not, in other words, they're just not stupid enough to admit it in court, but they're all doing it. They are all doing the same thing. They are price gouging, and it's killing the wallet of everybody in America. And it doesn't matter if you have money or you don't, or if you're middle class or you're poor, because we know that the rich are filling their pockets. Now, the second thing is that your government just cut $9 billion in spending while grocery corporations are posting record profits. That's not coincidence. That's coordination, honey. That is coordination. Definitely not coincidence. The third thing is we are bombing Iranian nuclear facilities while Americans are choosing between medicine and milk. Your tax dollars are funding foreign wars while you can't afford eggs. Let's make it make sense. But it's hard to make it make sense. This isn't economics, though. This is economic warfare. They're using basic necessities as weapons to control your behavior, your voting, and your entire life. Me too, as well. Want proof? Well, food prices rose 3% in the 12 months ending June, but wages didn't. That means you're getting poorer every single month by design. The system isn't broken, it's working exactly as intended. Trust me, it is. The question is, what are you going to do about it? That's the question. What are we going to do about it? Here's the current reality check on these food prices and what the real deal is for your basic survival items as of today. Here's the real deal. Here's the reality check. Now, open up your ears and listen. Walmart eggs right now on average are $4.90 a dozen. It just dropped from $3.47, but still 83% higher than 2019. Basic groceries 74% more expensive than 2019 across the board. At Kroger, milk over $3 a gallon. It was $2.19 in 2019. Eggs are deliberately inflated above inflation rates. Admitted corporate gouging, of course, what's convenient for them to admit. Now, when it comes to store brand items, artificially elevated to maximum profit margins are the most. So, in other words, that is to say that if you buy Kraft macaroni and cheese, all that artificial cheese, because you're buying Kraft instead of Great Value, you're going to pay max money because they want max profit. All these um, maybe I'm saying that wrong so it could be understood better. Flip that. Let's say you get Great Value brand. Well, those great value brand stuffs, foods, they're artificially elevated just so they can maximize profit margins. Same thing like brand foods would do. But if you get store brands, they're just artificially elevated. Although, if you switch it to craft, it's artificially elevated too as well for maximum profit margin. So it fits both equations. And remember, food at home prices are predicted to increase by 2.2% in 2025. That's on top of the massive increases you've already absorbed. Your grocery budget isn't keeping up, and it's not supposed to. Hmm. Well, folks, sorry I couldn't bring you guys really nice news. Food prices are out of whack, but that is your War Notes reality check. And while they feed you lies about economic recovery, your grocery receipts tell the truth. Eggs are at $5, milk is over $3, and Washington is cutting billions while corporations confess to price gouging. If you're able to, please share this with everyone who thinks the economy is fine. Allow them to get a reality check. Hit subscribe if you want the truth they are hiding. And remember, when they tell you this is temporary, show them your grocery receipts and say, no, this is not temporary. Here's the real deal. Hmm. Well, folks, this is War Notes, where we follow the money and tell you who's stealing it. Stay angry, stay informed, and keep fighting back, honey.